How to differentiate your business regardless of industry, niche, or the competition. My name is Gogo Erakasima, and this broadcast is sponsored by CoachGogo.com and Idea Age Consulting. If you're a small business, what I've noticed is that a lot of times when I talk about differentiation, something else is going on in the minds of the business owners and entrepreneurs I'm talking to, and it's common. It's that, oh, my industry is different, my business is different, our business is so competitive, there's no basis for differentiation. Oh, you know what? All we are is a bakery. Oh, we bake bread. Everybody in my business bakes bread, so there's no differentiation. And so they sort of think of it sometimes as a waste of time or as a waste of resources pursuing differentiation, especially if you own a small business and you barely have enough people on payroll to take care of what you consider to be the more urgent, the more important responsibilities. Then you're probably thinking, you know what, it's why go spending time getting somebody else or getting, God forbid, a consultant to talk about differentiation. Well, the truth of the matter is, there are simpler ways to design differentiation into your business, and we're going to talk a little bit about why it's important. I hope that will illustrate why it's important rather than just talking about it, that you get to see it. One of the concepts that we work with our clients at Idea Age Consulting and also in my private coaching at CoachGogo.com is called the 4P framework. It's made up of 4 elements, starting with the people or profile. And the people or profile has to do with the identity type of the client you're dealing with or the customer you're pursuing. And then we go to the problem. That's the second P, is the problem. The third P is the process, and the fourth P is passion, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So people represents the customer profile. Now, obviously, if you are a business that serves the business-to-business market, meaning that your average customer is not an individual, is not a consumer, but an organization, this first P breaks down into 2. You still have to talk about the people involved. So let's say that you're a consultant in the employee benefits arena, or you sell payroll services. Your target might be CFOs. Your target might be CFOs of companies, doing $50 to $100 million, or organizations, the president and owner of organizations with at least 10 employees. So, but the point is, you have to define a very specific person that you want to do business with, because what you're bringing to the table, what your company is bringing to the table, is so much more valuable to them than to everybody else. All right, so, and this is a really important thing. So you're segmenting a part of the potential population of customers that you could have. You're making it smaller, and then you're choosing one to target. This is a smarter way to make decisions. You make decisions faster. You use your resources, whether those resources are money, resources of staff, personnel. This provides a logic for actually moving your business forward, your marketing forward with greater momentum. So people is the first element of differentiation. The second P in my system represents the problem, meaning this: what primary problems do you solve for them? I'm a business development and marketing consultant. So sometimes my clients the clients I work with may have challenges with accounting, with payroll, with operations. They may have so many different, they may need help with supply chain. They may need help with deciding whether they should enter the Chinese market, and if so, how they'll enter the Chinese market. I don't solve any of those problems for them. The problems I solve for them is how to develop more business through marketing, specifically direct marketing, digital marketing, and strategic marketing. All right. Now, so if you don't decide what problems you're going to solve for your clients, you're going to have a big problem yourself. All right. The third, okay, well, so I like to give this example. So let's say that you and I both separately decided on starting new businesses, and since we're startups, Hey, we like the dentist. We're going to work with a dentist. Fine. That means, using the logic of this presentation, our first P would be dentists. These are the people that we're going to be dealing with. I've already told you that I'm in business growth and development consulting, but let's say that you are a dental office design firm. So even though even though we're dealing with dentists, you and I are both dealing with dentists, we're solving completely different problems for them. So in this example, we're not competing with each other, because even though we're both sending direct mail to dentists, we're both attending the trade organizations, conventions that the dentists are holding and hosting. But we're going in there as complementary businesses, not competing businesses. This opens up a really strong area of opportunity for entrepreneurs, for executives who are willing to be proactive. If you're willing to be proactive, you can work with complementary businesses to reach your target first P, your target people. Okay, but if to even understand differentiation a bit further, we're going to go deeper. All right. So what if, instead of me being a business growth consultant and you being a dental office design firm, we were both in the business growth consulting field, in the business development field, and we were both specializing in the needs of dentists? We could still differentiate between ourselves with the third P. And the third P, remember I said, was process. It's either process or product, but it's the way that you deal with the problem you've chosen to solve. That's all it is. Have you chosen to deal with the problem? If our methods of solving the problem are distinct enough, we can find differentiation through those methods, through that process, or through our product. So let's get this clear. We're dealing with the same first P, meaning dentists. We're solving the same problem for them, which is the challenge of business growth or business development, maybe through marketing or through sales. But now, that's the thing. The third P is different. The third P means, so while I'm, like, the example that you're seeing there is, while I'm focusing on strategic marketing, meaning, having a centralized marketing plan, making sure, optimizing the channels, making sure that every marketing channel that you're using is working at a better and improved level, you might be concentrating on helping the smaller dentists gain more clients and gain more customers in their community through networking, through community outreach. So even though we're still all together in the business of helping the dentists get more customers, we're doing completely different things for them. So I'm on the left side. I'm looking through maybe how they're handling calls. What are the percentages of calls that are being coming into the office that are being picked up on time, and how is the front office staff handling those calls, turning inquiries into visits. Maybe we're looking at the direct mail. How is the direct mail working in terms of boosting its response? And then you, on the other hand, are looking maybe at the dentists themselves. Do they have a cyclical? Do they have a rhythm for attending community events, getting known in the community without spending money on advertising? Is that worth doing, or should they just concentrate on one or two big events a year? So I mean, it may not be the greatest example in the world, but these are just some examples of how you can differentiate by your product or process. All right, so when you are an entrepreneur and executive and you're trying to create differentiation, this is really a business model strategy issue. And I want to illustrate to you that by layering the P's on top of each other, you can create differentiation for any business, no matter what industry it is, no matter what scale. Whether we're talking about a really small one-on-one business or you're talking about a multi-million-dollar business, you can create differentiation by layering these considerations. All right, so as another example, let's say we were all targeting mid-sized networking technology companies. All right, these are companies, maybe they're selling routers, they're selling hubs, and So in this example, we're not targeting an individual. Now we're targeting a type of company, a profile of a company. And let's say that you and I also share the second P in this example, meaning we're still business development consulting companies. Well, you can see an easy example of the third P right here. On one hand, I could be specializing strictly on internet marketing, to business companies, or internet marketing for these mid-sized technology companies. And meanwhile, you might be strictly focused on sales team improvement, sales performance, sales incentives, sales operations management. And that is differentiation right there, because this is an acknowledgement that for you to really differentiate your business, you have to put in the work to understand your target organization, your target consumer. Understand how their needs differ from the companies that look just like them. Because if they are doing very well in the digital arena, if they have a great content marketing going on, they're doing great work in terms of B2B social, they have a LinkedIn group with a lot of their potential referrers already members and things like that are going on well. They're doing a great job with their AdWords advertising, pay-per-click advertising, and all of that stuff. Then they don't need an internet marketing consulting firm. What do they need? They look on the other side and they figure out that they're getting all these leads from the internet, and these are pretty good leads, and the sales team is just dropping the ball. So what they need is a company that is specifically focused on sales and improved sales performance. How they're setting appointments, how they're handling the sales presentation, how they're putting them together in a sequence so that they can clarify whether a lead is, lead scoring. Is this a good lead or a bad lead, and is it a hot lead or a warm lead or a cold lead? How are the sales staff thinking about this, and how are they making faster decisions so that they're spending most of their time selling and doing a better job of selling than previously? All right, so that's just a way of looking at this whole set of differentiation. You're offering. There's this third P has so many elements to it. There's so many ways to differentiate here in this third P, and as a matter of fact, that's where most of the differentiation out there is. Most times you won't see companies changing the target of their marketing. A lot of times you won't see them changing what they do. So this third P tends to be where everyone focuses on, selling a different product, or highlighting a different process. All right, so here's, just giving you some of the sales training example. If you and I decided to compete in sales training niches, so now this is even going even further. Let's say you and I both were in the sales training. All right, I might differentiate myself on the fact that, hey, we focus on coming into your organization, which means if I'm flying into your organization, I'm probably targeting a slightly larger group of technology companies. All right, even though they're mid-sized, I might be looking at mid-sized companies from 100 employees and up. You might be looking at mid-sized companies from 10 employees to 50. And so if I'm looking at a company from 100 to 400 employees, that's still a mid-sized company. But I might be saying the reason you want to hire me is because we come into your location, we'll do ride-alongs with your sales personnel, and then when we do the live seminars, we have a proprietary system for doing, for running simulations. So we focus heavily on simulations. We create a customized script, and when we simulate it till your sales staff are comfortable and it's second nature to them. You, on the other hand, are dealing with maybe companies from five employees to 20 employees or 30 employees, and you're saying something different. You're saying, hey, listen, you who are five employee, 10 employee, 20 employee company, you probably have only 3 or 4 sales guys. If you boost their sales up with our training, you'll see a real benefit to the bottom line. So here's what we do. We're going to give you per seat licenses, and we have this whole branded proprietary system for sales training, and it's all online, and there's videos, and then we call once a week by phone, and we track the improvement of your sales staff. And so suddenly we're differentiating. So I'm saying I'm going to come in, we're going to do ride-alongs with your sales staff. We're going to talk to your sales manager. We're going to look at the sales process overall, and you're offering sales training online. And it's more affordable, it's more manageable for a smaller company to purchase yours than to purchase mine. All right, so this is just an example of that kind of differentiation. But I want to go on to the fourth P. I talk about passion as the fourth P, but you got to understand something. Passion, as I'm using it here, encompasses a whole lot. We're talking about personality. We're talking about injecting emotional selling into your business. We're talking about putting people, especially small entrepreneurs, I found out, make this habit of trying to hide behind a faceless company. That's one of the worst mistakes you can make. All right? One of the worst mistakes you can make is to try to hide yourself behind this entity. Contrary to popular belief, a company is not a person, at least not outside the law. Okay? In marketing, a company is definitely not a person. That's why Wendy's had Dave Thomas sitting right in front of there representing the company. Papa John's had to trot out Big Papa John himself to speak. Purdue Chicken for decades now has been bringing out right up front and center. First it was Purdue Senior, and now it's his son, so that we can see a face, so that we can see somebody saying to us, yeah, hold me personally responsible if we mess up. Hold me personally accountable if my company messes up. And that's what your consumer wants. That's what your customer wants. All right, and so we can give you a bunch of examples. Geico used to be the government employees insurance company, a large company. Brand profile was boring, unknown, unappreciated. Well, they said we're going to do something about it. They started, of course, one of the great things with Geico is not just entertaining, personality-based marketing that they're doing, but it really, at the center of it, still does not abandon. There's a lot of passion. Most people are not going to associate an insurance company with passion, all right? But they've put so much whimsy, so much playfulness into their commercials, but it still has the core message. 15 minutes can save us 15% or more on car insurance. All right? I mean, it is such a they go for the memorable message that gives us a reason to choose them over everybody else. All right? And then they're doing the research. When they find out that people are questioning whether it's going to be easy, from a process standpoint, they reduce the sales friction by saying, hey, switching is so easy a caveman can do it. So they're still insisting on personality, but they're not leaving out solid, what we call a unique selling proposition, meaning a core message that tells you the exact reason why you should do business with them instead of with a universe of competitors that they have. All right, so passion is just the point where if you're a small business, you're a solo entrepreneur, you're a service professional, you really have to find your distinct advantage in the fact that you are a personally accountable, responsible provider of your service or product. Do not fall for that big business is better. Big business marketing is better business marketing era. It'll serve you in all the wrong ways. All right, you'll take your advantage and turn it into a distinct advantage. What you have to do is match what you're bringing to the table to a need in the market. Not every company out there needs high touch personalized solutions. Some of them are large, or due to their culture they just need scale. But there's others out there who want to be handheld through the process, and that may be your advantage. So don't take the easy way out. Don't chicken out of really thinking through the match between you and the marketplace that you're trying to serve. Now, going a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper into how people buy, how organizations buy. Emotion still drives buying, still drives purchasing decisions. And I mean, a lot of research has gone into showing that people buy based on the emotional, what their dominant emotional factors are, and then make it while making sure that there is enough paper logic to support that decision. So first they decide, and then they make sure the decision is defensible, and that's important. So if you're cutting out the emotional aspect, the connection tissue between you and your marketplace, just stop it. All right, emotional selling is a great way to use your personality, to use your strengths, and connect with the marketplace. And one great way to do that is with what we call a core emotional story. All right, and a core emotional story is just maybe an account that you can give about your company, about maybe your interaction with a client, current client, past client, it doesn't matter, but something that involves your company that addresses a core emotional need of your target person, your target profile. So now we're connecting this fourth B with the first B. Remember that the first B is the people that you choose to serve, or the profile of organization that you choose to serve. And so when we talk about creating a core emotional story, I'm saying take a truth, take something you have researched, something that you know about that profile that you're serving, and attach it to a story about your company, or a customer story about your company that addresses that emotional issue, that emotional orientation. And if you do that, you're well on your way to building the kinds of success that we can read case studies about later. Mary Kay Ash built Mary Kay into a massive company, and a lot of how she did that had to do with her mastery of her story. She would always talk about her story, about how just how her story built Mary Kay, how Mary Kay came to be. I call it a birth epic. And this story was very important. It was important when for recruiting her ladies, who were so driven and so productive, and it was important for when the Mary Kay ladies in those days would go out to their customers, explaining the concept of their company and the cosmetic products and skincare products that they were selling. All right, so just understand that if you don't put some kind of human face on your company, you're not going to succeed. All right, there you can see my human face. All right, and the important thing about that is it's just you get to know me, I get to know you, and you decide whether I'm somebody that you trust with the particular problem that I'm proposing I can solve. If it's good enough for Southwest, it should be good enough for you. A company as large as Southwest, if you haven't, go to YouTube, check out their campaigns. They, yeah, in this case, they're not using the CEO necessarily or the owner, but you can see a lot of times they're using their staff, they're using the ground crew, they're using the customer service personnel. They're putting people, real humans, front and center. All right, and at the same time, they're not forgetting their value proposition. I'm going to give you a little bit of a warning, and I've kind of alluded to this already. If you're rushing out there now to go inject emotional selling, to go inject some passion into your marketing message, into your ads or whatever, your ads should still answer that central question: what is in it for me? That's what your customer marketplace is asking for. If your ads are not answering that question, it's a waste of time, and I'm sorry to say it, it may fail. Geico and all the ads that they're doing, as creative as they are, as personality and passion driven as they are, they still answer the core premise. What is it that Geico is going to do for me? The 15% can save you 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. They're talking about the convenience and the savings. So, that is all research based. You don't just get up one day and say, oh, this is the reason why you should do business with me. And you have to fight the temptation to do that yourself. don't think that you're going to think through in 1 minute a difference that's going to count. You have to go back and look at your marketplace that you're targeting. You have to go back and look at what the competition is also saying to them, and find a vacuum. Find a vacuum between what the competitors are saying and the silent priorities that your target profile has. That's where you find a brilliant difference. That's where your difference is going to count and going to drive the growth of your company. All right. So if you've got this, if you've got these four elements: the people, the problem, the process, and passion, you cannot run out of ways to differentiate your company. You cannot run out of ways to differentiate your product. All right, whether you're in a service business, whether you're you're designing a new product, or whether you're in the information online business, digital media, whatever it is you're in, think about the points of differentiation as I've mentioned below. Review this video again, apply these lessons to your business, and I'm telling you, you're going to become magnetic to your marketplace. Gogo Arakasima, the small business digital coach. I help guide entrepreneurs, executives, and story makers at coachgogo.com. You can also check us out if you are a small business with at least 5 years in existence. You already have built up a good momentum in your business and you want to go to the next level of growth. Generally, our clients have at least 5 to 10 employees and are looking to grow to the next level. You can check us out at ideageconsulting.com as well. Until next time, I'll talk to you.